among the world's tallest peaks, the top 100 are all located in Asia. While Mount Everest is commonly known as the highest, it actually ranks second in danger. The true number one has earned the grim title of a museum of death. Few realize that, across the globe, more than 100 mountains rise above 7,200 meters, most of them clustered within a region often called the rooftop of the world. Among these towering giants, the top 10 alone have already claimed the lives of more than 2,000 climbers. On their slopes, temperatures can plunge to minus 50 degrees Celsius. Oxygen levels fall to less than 1/3 of what we breathe at sea level, and some of these fatal peaks remain unconquered to this very day. Number 10. Annapurna, though named after the Hindu goddess of food and nourishment. In reality, this peak is the deadliest mountain on Earth, known as the Killer Mountain. Annapurna rises to 8,091 meters above sea level. In 1950, after failing to summit Dalshri, a French expedition, led by Maurice Herzog, turned its attention to Annapurna, located 34 kilometers away. Herzog and Louis Le Carnel eventually stood on the summit, becoming the first humans to ever climb an 80,000-meter peak. Yet the victory came at a devastating cost. Severe frostbite left Herzog without fingers or toes, proving that conquest was the only true outcome. Since then, countless climbers have dreamed of overcoming this shrouded summit, but Annapurna has never been a welcoming host. As of December 2024, there have been 514 successful ascents, at the price of 75 deaths, giving it a fatality rate of 14.6%, the highest among 8,000-meter peaks. This is no accident. The mountain's treacherous terrain, unpredictable weather, an avalanche-prone south face demand climbers face, sheer ice walls, deep crevasses, and constant danger. Compared with Everest, which is higher but more commercialized and accessible, Annapurna remains a brutal test of human endurance. Yet climbers continue to risk everything. Perhaps the answer lies in the breathtaking landscapes hidden behind its icy facade: lush forests, alpine meadows, crystal lakes, and rare wildlife like snow leopards and Himalayan blue sheep. The Annapurna Sanctuary, a high-altitude basin surrounded by 7,000-meter peaks, feels like a mythic realm. Here, danger intertwines with beauty, awakening a primal sense of awe and desire in those who dare to step into its shadow. Maybe, at the deepest level, the reason is simply all long to live a life that feels worth living. But Annapurna has also borne tragedies beyond climbing expeditions. In October 2014, the remnants of a cyclone triggered a massive blizzard across central Nepal. In just 12 hours, snowfall reached 1.8 meters. Trekkers on the famous Annapurna circuit, particularly those crossing the Thurong La Pass at 5,416 meters, were caught in the storm. At least 43 lives were lost, 175 injured, and dozens more disappeared. That storm froze not only bodies, but also the hearts of families and rescuers alike. On Annapurna's icy heights, humans are no longer conquerors, but fragile witnesses to the immensity of snow, wind, and stars. Number 9. Nana, Purbit. Its name, in Urdu and Sanskrit, means the naked mountain, a vivid description of its sheer cliffs and exposed rock, starkly different from the forest-clad peaks of the Himalayas. Rising like an untamed monarch in Gilgit-Baltistan's Daima district, its local Namadir Merman's king of the mountains. At 8,126 meters, Nana Parbat is the ninth mountain in the world, and the westernmost of the 8,000-meter giants. Standing apart from its neighbors, it dominates the Kashmir Valley with staggering prominence, second only to Everest itself. Its three faces are each unique: the eastern Rupal face, draped in silver cliffs and icefields; the western Diamir face, beginning with rock and rising into snowbound heights; and most legendary of all, the southern Rupal Fasith, tallest mountain wall on Earth. With a vertical rise of more than 4,600 meters, the Italian climbing legend Reinhold Messner once remarked that anyone standing beneath the Rupal face cannot help but feel overwhelmed by its grandeur, but its allure is as dangerous as it is majestic. In the 1930s, repeated German expeditions ended in disaster, with avalanche, altitude sickness, and blizzards claiming dozens of lives. The mountain became shrouded in a dark reputation of death. It wasn't until July 3, 1953, that Austrian climber Hermann Bull reached the summit solo and alive, achieving the first successful ascent. Yet the mountain is not only for those who risk their lives. At its base lies Fairy Meadows, a stunning alpine plateau framed by glaciers, pine forests, and snowy peaks. From here, visitors can admire the Rupal face gleaming in the sunlight. Though the jeep track from Raked Bridge to Tato village is rugged, the journey is rewarded with unforgettable beauty. Even in an age where technology has mapped nearly every corner of Earth, Annapurna still preserves a sense of raw mystery and unconquerable dignity. Perhaps that is its greatest allure. Number 8. Manaslu. If Everest belongs to the British in climbing history, then Manaslu, the mountain of the spirit, belongs to Japan. Rising to 8,163 meters in Nepal's Gorkha district, Manaslu is the world's 8th highest peak. Looking up from its base, one sees knife-edge ridges and interlaced ice walls, like a frozen citadel suspended in the sky. The bond between Japan and Manaslu began in the early 1950s. Starting in 1952, Japanese teams launched annual expeditions, investing heavily and enduring repeated failures, determined to become the first nation to reach its summit. On May 9, 1956, Japanese climber Toshio Imanishi and Sherpa Gyaltsen Nobu succeeded, fulfilling Japan's national climbing dream. Though considered less technically severe than Annapurna or K2, Manaslu is far from forgiving. Its standard route ascends via the northeast face, the same used by the Japanese team. Yet avalanches remain a constant threat. Out of 3,317 successful ascents, 90 climbers have perished, making it the fourth most dangerous 8,000-meter peak. Tragedies punctuate its history. In 2012, an avalanche killed 9 climbers. In 2022, 2 deadly avalanches struck again, claiming experienced Sherpas. Another hazard is the false summit near the main peak, where climbers often stop prematurely, believing they have reached the top. A 2021 survey by the American Alpine Journal revealed that the majority of recorded summits never actually stood on the true highest point. Yet, Manaslu is more than a mountaineer's test. In 1991, Nepal opened the Manaslu Circuit Trek, a 177-kilometer route following the Budi Gandaki River, crossing Tibetan villages, valleys, and glaciers before connecting to the Annapurna region. Along the way, trekkers witness over a dozen peaks, above 6,500 meters, with the highlight being the 5,106-meter Yurla Pass. This journey offers not only breathtaking landscapes, but also cultural encounters, giving travelers a glimpse into the resilient spirit of the Himalayan people.